Okay, so let's assume that you've gone to GitHub, you followed the link from either my Twitter or my YouTube channel, and you've downloaded the platform successfully. You've loaded it onto your desktop like this, and this should be what you should roughly see. This is just a demo at the moment. This isn't actually live, but I'm just trying to show you how it should roughly look and how you would use it roughly. So obviously it's saying here day 933. That should be completely different when you see it. And you got the version numbers up here. So this is just the first version. Obviously when I do updates to it, then you'll need to just click here and you can be able to check for updates. So that could be new pools being added or just different ways that the text looks, what I think. But the basis will be the same. But this just gives you a great way to update it. Nice and easy. Obviously, then you just connect your wallet, the same as you would with anything else. Whatever wallet you're using should hopefully connect. If it doesn't, let me know. That could be one of the updates that we may do in the future. Obviously, we're on the Pulse Chain network. I don't have any plans for going on anything else. Pulse Chain's the network for me, and that's the way it's going to be. So, firstly, you are looking to get one token, the one. So, what you're ideally looking to do is to burn one and receive OTB. And the ratio for that is a 1-to-1. So OTB can then be staked. Minimum stake is 400 days, and the maximum stake is 10,000 days. And you earn your inflation rewards the same T-share prices raised every single day, same way Hex basically does it, with a little bit of difference. And obviously, there's going to be different staking mechanisms, but I'll go into that in the future. There are no tokens when this starts. So when this starts, there are no one tokens, there are no OTB tokens. What you have to do first is go down the page and you're looking at for these. So this one's for Hex. So if you've got Hex and you want to just stake a bit of Hex, you could add it here. So you would stake and earn. You've got your lockup period. So if you don't lock it up, it's just a normal percentage. Lock it for 30 days, it's 1.1, 90 days, 1.2, 180 days is 2, and 365 days is 3 times the multiplier. Add in your tokens that you want to stake. So you might want to just stake 10 hex, let's say. And that will give you a payout of 1 per day. So per day, you'll get 0.3 for just 10 hex. And over the year, you'll get 10.951. But that's based on the pool. So the pools pay out 1,001 tokens per day for hex, and that is divided between the pool. So whoever earns the most. So obviously, the more people using the pool, less tokens are going to people, and then that should hopefully drive the price up. So obviously, that's hex. You should have a copy of the code there, add it to MetaMask. But obviously, most people have got that token. Got Ink, we should have PLS, PLSX, 9-inch, the big bonus coin from 9-inch, Bastard token, and then I've got some random tokens here. So these are all tokens that I've previously put on. They have no value. So that is the great thing about these, because you've either might have these in the wallet already, not doing anything, or you can go to probably 9-inch is better, or whatever platform you want to use, really. Copy the code for the account, the contract address, and then you can buy a few of these tokens for very little amount, because no one's going to have any. Absolutely fine. That'll give you a percentage of this pool, but this pool only pays out 100 tokens per day. So again, it's less. So that's driving the price. But there are many different pools here available, and you can just pick one that you want to go, or pick one that's maybe someone hasn't staked as much in, and you get a bigger stake and you get a bigger slice of that pie and earn more. And there's plenty of tokens to choose from. Other tokens here, we've got Texan token, Communis, Hedron, Hexos. So someone might like to stake a few Hexo tokens. That pool is set to 200 tokens per day. Yeah, Icosa set to 200 tokens per day. WETH, I'm guessing people won't want to stake that, so I've put that to 400 tokens a day. So that could be a good little incentive. Just go and buy a little bit of WETH, and you could potentially lock that up and take the bigger slice of that pie for that payout. Print token, so that's from the ink print tokens. Again, just use the copy code and you can buy a few tokens if you wanted. Lunch token, again, it's just tokens that are lying around in people's wallets. Pizza, so you could just, again, buy a little bit of pizza. PP, Grew, Pop, Pulp, Puppy, P Christ, Luna, Bok, Springbok, Dodge, but this is one from a meme token. And again, this one's only paying 50 tokens out per day. But if you could get the bigger slice of that token pool, you could potentially get more. Tom's token and Vag. Obviously, I can add more pools to this as time goes on, but there's a good range there of token prices and token amounts just to get used to the platform, see how it goes, and see if what's going to happen. But obviously, you're looking at working out how many people have got the pool, how much the pool is worth, how much the token's worth, how much it would cost for you to get the amount, or you might just have those tokens lying around your wallet doing nothing. And obviously, you can claim, you can withdraw. You've got different groups here, so you can look at the RH tokens, 9-inch tokens, 1Y tokens in here. And then you've got other, which is just everything else that I haven't really labeled, but I've just bunged them on for now. But they've got some great amounts to them. So like Print's got 500 tokens a day. That's quite high. But you've got to have Print, or you've got to go and buy Print to be a part of that. Obviously, none of these are filled out. The share price for OTB starts at 1,000 OTB. And that's like the same as Hex. You have to spend a certain amount to get a T share. So that's what that's referring to. If once you've got your one token, you can burn it in here and receive on a 1-to-1 ratio. OTB staking is just up here. So we've got 1,000 OTB. That's what it starts on. Obviously, none of these numbers are really effective at the moment because this is just the demo. Just remember that. Yours will look a lot different, hopefully. Got an effective supply and a real supply. So instead of having an OA wallet with tokens sat out there, a lot of people with the Hex were using that to attack Richard. So I took that away. What I did instead was I've used a virtual supply. Now this doesn't actually represent it properly, but there's a virtual supply, which that is what's basing the inflation on. So that inflation rate is based on that virtual supply and the real supply. Obviously, there's no real supply to start with. So until you stake a few OTB that you've minted from one, that's where the inflation rate pays to whoever's staking. Now, what I have done is because I haven't, for the owner, put in a load of tokens, like 80 or 90% of tokens for the owner, what I've done is I've placed T-shares over a certain time period locked into the contract so that the owner can only get a certain amount out at a certain time. But what that also means is that the users, your stakes basically, will go up. So over time, more tokens and more people will have a bigger share of the tokens. And I think that's a really effective way of doing it. I've worked the maths out quite a lot on it. I think that's quite effective in the way it'll work, hopefully, and the way I've set it up. I have run a few tests to try and work it out. So, let me know what you think. Maybe you would have done it differently, but that's the way I've decided to do it. And like I said, I did work out a few different ratios and how it would affect everything. Now we've got an adoption amplifier. So early stakers bonus T-shares. So this is set, and it basically starts off with, the earlier you stake, the bigger your percentage will be when you add a stake. So, for example, if I put in OTB here, you can see nothing on this right hand side is coming up yet. But as soon as I add some days in, then I've got some information coming up here telling me what that share is going to look like. So let's just add a couple of zeros to that. Actually, let's go max. There you go. Let's add a couple of zeros to that. There you go. So that makes it look a bit better. So for that, I would get 46 T shares. The duration bonus, so I'd get a times 2 on the duration bonus because I'm going for the maximum 10,000 days. The amplifier bonus, which fades on day 1,825. So that lasts longer and is spread out, so it'll be a gradual fade down. And that at that point, the people that are staking will start to have a bigger amount than the owners. So that's where the people staking will effectively start having a bigger share of tokens. And that's quite a massive thing, really, I think. But again, let me know what you think. And the amplifier bonus there is giving out 2,052 OTB tokens. So you get a 9.8% bonus there. And you per day earnings, you get 13 OTB. Obviously, this might be different, or hopefully it'll be different when everything's set up and going properly. But you've got your pool share, end stakes down here. This explains your bigger, longer bonus. The virtual supply right now is all on here. So you've got all the data there. You can have a look at your stakes yourself, have a play around with the platform. And I've kept this pretty similar to Hex. The reason being, I want obviously Hex users to use the platform. So I want them to be familiar with how it works. And that's why I've tried to keep it pretty similar. You've got your end stakes down here, your claims, and you've got your grace period as well. So there is quite a lot on there. But again, same sort of setup. Everyone should be familiar using it and see how you get along. This is obviously the demo, so this isn't working very well. But once it's got data coming in, hopefully it'll start looking a bit better. Now this is another exciting bit, is the prize bounty vault, or the bounty prize vault. So I started it off as a prize vault, and I decided to add bounties to it. So what this is let's say you want to put in some tokens for the community to try and win. So you could come in and you could say, right, I've got 500,000 PLS. I'm going to give it as a community donation to the prize vault. But if someone wants to claim it, they need to give me 25,000 one tokens within a certain amount of time, or the highest bid wins it. Or if no one bids for it, the tokens go back to the user. If you bid and you don't win, then you'll keep your one tokens. A winning bid, though, 90% of the tokens, as it says up here, 90% of the winning bid goes to the depositor. 10% is permanently burned. So 10% of one token gets burnt through this protocol. And that's why it's a bit of an incentive. It's 100 days max for the prize vault. So if I put in PLS or Hex or any random token could go into here. So if you've got a token you want to promote, you could put it into this vault. You could place your bounty price on it of one token. So how much for one token? Obviously, you've got to remember 10% of that is going to get burnt before you receive it. So if you if you wanted a bounty of 101, then you're only going to receive 91 or 91 tokens. Yeah, 10 one tokens would be burnt. So obviously you can create a vault, can refresh it, see the highest bid, and see what's ending soon. It changes all for you. The vaults If you've got any vaults, they'll be set up down here. So obviously, like I said, this is like a demo version at the minute. This isn't live, but you'll be able to see more information up here. You've got the bounty, the OTB staking, and you've got one rewards pool. Obviously, get on in, have a little look. You've probably got some of these tokens just sat in your wallet doing nothing. Why not put them to good use? Stake them, earn a few one tokens. You can either keep the one tokens and then wait for liquidity to be set up by someone, and then you could sell those one tokens, or you could burn them and get OTB, and you can stake that OTB. And like I said, you can stake that up to 10,000 days. Minimum stake of 400. That's because I saw people with Hex where they were staking large amounts for a short time and then withdrawing that amount, trying to effectively take value from the chain quite fast. So that's what I've done. That set it up like that. There's a few other settings and things that we'll have a look into, but this just gives you a basic overview of how to use the platform as it's now launched. Have a look at it, see what you think, have a little play. Like I said, there's quite a lot of tokens, and there'll be more tokens coming that I will update to it and put in some more pools. But if you've got a token in mind that you think you want to have on there, maybe put it in the bounty prize vault if you will have a token that you want to promote. If there's a token that you want me to put in the staking part down here, then maybe send me a message or put it in the comments. And if you see in the comments the one that you want, maybe like that comment so it goes to the top. But that's my Octal Bytes platform. Hope you all enjoy it and see how we get on.